So just to give a summary of what I'm trying to do on this channel is, it's a multitude of things, but the main things I'm trying to do are trying to get you to think for yourself, trying to get you to question things, why you believe certain things, why you're stuck in a negative outlook on things, to get you to see the positive and the good in things, to get you to realize some things you can realize, to become a better person, to really watch where you give your attention to and what you put your authority in. I also obviously talk about God. What is God? The metaphysical of reality. What reality is really about. Talk about psychedelics. These things right here. That's pretty much my main focus. And everything that I tell you, come on here and tell you, it has came to me through a multitude of ways. It's either something I've had a direct experience, understanding, and knowing about, or things that I have spent hours, hundreds if not thousands of hours contemplating. And anything that I make grand claims on, I will not do so unless I have had a direct experience with it or a direct understanding with it. And another thing I do is I have spent, again, countless hours in philosophy, psychology, studying and listening to and extracting gold nuggets of information from other people, or people that some people put up on a pedestal. And not only do I extract the good from it, but I also look at the holes and flaws in it, which is something I would recommend you doing even with me, to pinpoint and show you that exactly, just because someone gives good advice does not truly know what they're talking about. But if I have came on here and made a claim, it is 100% my own direct experience with that understanding and knowledge of that. So that's what I'm trying to provide here for you guys. And so with saying that, I would like to, in this video, explain to you why you should look at the positive in things, and why you're giving your authority away, you're giving your power away without realizing it. And that's a horrible thing to do. So if what I'm saying is true, that you are God. Now let me rephrase this claim about God. This is not some biblical God. This is not some any other religious God. And before I go any further, another thing that I do, that I come here and bring to you, is I extract the gold nuggets out of religion. I have studied a lot of religion, not all of them obviously, because there's too many to delve pretty deep into, but especially Christianity, Buddhism, I have studied it, and I'm coming to you and bringing you the gold nuggets, as I would call them. And again, that's just from my perspective. Maybe you can derive something from it that would help your experience better. But now back to this God claim that I make. I have clarified what God is, and I do not mean a God in biblical terms or in religious terms, or anything portrayed like that. I'm talking about the actual God, which is, I went deep into it. I'll link a video down below. Clearing up some misconceptions is what it's called, and that is what you are. Now, I have made claims of this being heaven, and how no one can, I don't want to say no one, because certain people can understand what I'm saying when I say this is heaven. If you spend your whole time looking at the negative, it's kind of like the old saying, you can't see the forest through the trees. You can't see heaven if you're focused on hell. And it's very hard to unweave these things to be able to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about that. So, yes, you are God, and yes, you are in heaven. But the definitions that we're using is probably completely different from each other. And anyone that comes to you and tries to make you see negative in things, or tries to uh, cause division or fear, is once again completely lost. It's just completely lost, and that's just simple as that. So I'd be very careful who you give your attention and authority to on that situation. I would not suggest you giving your authority to anyone. As a matter of fact, think back in your life and realize when you have given your authority away. Most of the time you have done it unconsciously. Some of the times you've consciously given it away. Because when I say the buck stops with you, I really mean that. And I can give you examples of why the only authority in existence that matters is your own authority. So if you think that, insert any religion here, if you think that's truth and you have not had any direct experience or any true knowledge or understanding that that could be the case or why that's the case, realize you have given that your authority. You have proceeded to believe that a pastor or some sort of teacher, spiritual teacher, and this even goes into spirituality, not just religion, but we'll just use religion for right now. You have believed that however many thousands of years ago there was a Messiah that told you this, and then they wrote it down in books, and then that was supposedly the Word of God. Or there was prophets, and this prophet spoke truthful words, and that was the Word of God. So it just got passed down, and then your pastor told you this, or your parents told you this, so you gave that your authority. So it's a lot easier to pretend like other people know what's going on, because then it would take all the responsibility off of yourself to figure out what's going on. So you give it your authority, like I said, sometimes consciously. And this can be used for other things too. It does not just have to be used for religion. Like I said, spirituality. If you think that some guru or spiritual teacher is truthful or has the truth, you're given that your authority. Same with science. You think that, well, the Big Bang sounds truthful, and so many people agree on it, so it has to be true. Then you've given that your authority. It's just simply the case. So what I'm saying to you is, when you come to understand this, and then you come to understand some of the things I'm talking to you about, then it'll sound absolutely ridiculous and preposterous for anyone to try to dispute you, because you will know. You'll just know, and then you will quit giving your authority away. You'll quit giving your attention to certain things. And lastly, to end this, perspective is everything. Cannot stress that enough. Your perspective on your life, on the people closest to you, on the world, on reality as a totality, is the only thing that matters. So if I was you, I would probably try to find the good in it. Not only the good in it, but the absolute good in it. And then you can come to the same conclusion that this is heaven. And if you've not come to that conclusion, it is because you have went astray somewhere. You are lost, and I'm not judging anyone. I'm not being rude. I'm not being negative. I'm just saying how it is. And you are focused on hell. You can't see the forest through the trees. So I guess quit playing mind games with yourself. Quit putting yourself in a mental prison, and quit focusing on hell. Now this is to really anyone that sees it any differing, or hasn't took the journey or actually tried to realize these things, and thinks this world's against them. It's cruel, it's cold, people are manipulative, people are out to get me, there's something great taking shit so seriously. You're just making yourself suffer. And I'm trying to come here and alleviate some of that suffering to get you to see things from another perspective, that have a shift in consciousness, to become more aware of these things, to become more aware of how beautiful everything is, to become more aware of how absolutely perfect everything is, and to actually live life. You know, this thing that's going on constantly around us probably benefits you to actually go live it. But people will believe what they want to believe. People will, and it will be true for them. This is the thing. There is only one absolute truth, and you are the absolute truth. Everything else is just meta truths that people have not. I don't even want to say that. It's just truths people have came to that has become true for them. So to them, it's a relative truth. To them, it's the truth. So if you think God, Christianity is a true religion, it's true to you because you have that authority. All authority stops with you. So that's true for you. If you think Buddhism is the way to go, then that's true for you. If you think that this all came from a Big Bang and evolution and there's nothing really going on here other than that, then that's true for you. If you think some guru has the answers, and that's true for you. If you think you're a starseed, then that's true for you. If you think you're a messiah sent here to help people, then that's true for you. These are truths you want to stay away from, or don't. Really up to you at the end of the day. So yeah, realize you're giving your authority away. Pinpoint what I'm telling you is the truth. And also, and this would go out to religious people, I would say, in this. When you pray, who are you praying to? Who are you praying to? And who watches you and who judges your every move? Because if you're quite honest with yourself, you watch your every move and you're your harshest judge. And when you're praying to yourself. So it might benefit you to realize that. But it's just a game of form and a play of life. I'm you talking to you, and so's everyone else. Realize that.